What's happening? My gosh, how long has it been? Phew, I'm sure you're wondering what I'm doing staring at the floor, but we have been deluged with rain all day. Pretty much a downpour about all day, and as you can see, when it rains hard around here, I don't know if you can see that, but all the little worms come up out of the ground and want to commit suicide on my little patio, and see them there, and several of them have made it through the crack in my door down here, and you can see the little lines where they made it in the basement. So they were all down here gasping for whatever they gasped for. Now that happens every time there's a big rain like that, and they come up out of the ground and they try to get in here, and I thought I had the door sealed good, but I just got through picking up like 30 worms, which I'm sure you wanted to hear me talk about first thing. But anyway, yes, nasty, yucky day, one of the days you wished you had a day off, could just like lay in the bed and watch movies. But what's been going on? Oh gosh, still all over the place, still crazy. I'm drinking on in my new Duke glass the wife got me. My Bonfire Ale that I brewed a while back, and I apologize. Y'all know I'm bad for this. I can't ever remember what I've talked about. I don't even remember in my last video if I talked about what I have on tap, which is this Bonfire Ale, which is a little play. I kind of took the Arrogant Bastard recipe that I had used a couple times and just did something different with it. And I did a Citra double IPA. It's also on tap. And what else is on tap? Oh, my Christmas. I actually did a 2-gallon batch of my Christmas beer, of a Christmas beer for Christmas. And some of it still left, just a little bit. But it turned out real well. But I'm not drinking a lot of beer. I don't have the time. I'm drinking alone a lot because the wife is back on her Weight Watchers deal. She always gets challenged at school, and they always go through it. So her beer drinking goes down, and it sucks to drink alone. So I don't drink a whole lot. And I'm trying to watch the old calorie intake too. It's easy to come home and pour several every night, so I try to limit it. But yeah, I actually haven't put a video out in forever, and I actually did a video at the brewery, I don't know, a few weeks ago. The brewery, as far as Skull Camp Brewing, we're in the new section. I know if you look back through the videos, if you haven't seen it, you see me talking about, the addition where the brewery's going, and we've been brewing outside all this time. So we actually are in our brewery now, still with the Sabco system, but looking at getting a 10-barrel system, I think, is what the owners have decided on. So all that's something they're working out, and I'm just brewing when I can, mostly on Sunday mornings, and I'll go up maybe once or twice a week and do other things, mostly once a week. But yeah, I had a video. I went and done a video one morning. I thought I would show some things, but to be honest with you, I went back and watched the video, and I guess where I was like high on caffeine, and I was just trying to pay attention to everything, and I felt like I was just blah 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 and all over the place, and I was like, I'm not putting that video up. But it was not, well, I mean, it was an alright video, but I don't know, I just didn't want to put it up. Maybe I can do another one, or maybe I'll go back and look at it again and see if it's as bad as I thought. I'm watching those worms come in my door. Oh yeah, two things I was going to talk about that I've been talking about lately in my videos. One is RC planes. Give you some update on that. And the other is something I got today in that box right over there on my grain mill, if you can see it, that I'm very excited about. And Mr. BHBrewing, Larry, was kind enough to send me some more beer mail. And I got those bad boys today. And I'm very excited about it. I'm always excited about beer mail. I tend to drink the same old stuff. You know how it is, guys, when you make beer and you've got beer on tap, you got bottles. After you're 2 gallons in, maybe you're like, okay, it's time for another beer. So I'll tell you what I've been drinking a lot of here lately is Dale's Pale Ale. They're moving to Brevard, North Carolina, which is like 3.5, 4 hours from here, but they are becoming local here. Can't remember the name of the brewery. Dale's Pale Ale, whoever makes Dale's Pale Ale. Oscar Blues. And so they finally started getting some beers locally here, even though I don't think they started brewing out there, and these beers are Colorado beers. Just the cans of Dale's Pale Ale, man. It's one of those beers, it's just like, it suits me really well. So I'm loving that beer. I've been buying it locally, so I can't wait till we get some of the North Carolina brewed beers from Oscar Blues. So anyway, BHBrewing, everything did arrive safely, and I do appreciate it. I won't read everything here, but he's got a Holiday Red Ale, 6.2 ABV, 40 IBUs, a Pale Ale. He calls it a MAC, which is an IPA using Magnum, Amarillo, and Centennial. Can't wait to try. I can't wait to try all of them, but that one sounds really good. I love all those hops. His Russian Imperial Stout with Kent Goldings and Fuggles. Oh, we brewed this on a 15-barrel professional system. Sweet. Got some second runs. Okay, I remember that. I remember that video. So you got the wort for that, and okay, cool. And his cider. First attempt at making cider. Apple juice, brown sugar, and USO4. Sweet. I still actually got cider, believe it or not, folks. I made cider for my wife's birthday party last September, so that means I made it probably early August, and probably half of it got drank, and then I started making some other beers, and some other beers, came through, and she bought me the keg of Arrogant Bastard for my birthday in October, and the cider just got pushed off to the side. And so there's probably I bet there's probably not like a gallon or two left, but, excuse me, that cider has been in there forever, and it can only get better. So anytime something runs out, I put it on until I get something else on and can put the cider back off. But I say all that to say that I need to make some more cider. Whew. And I've thought about using brown sugar or honey or something different other than just apple juice and corn sugar like I have done in the last couple of batches. And it's interesting that you use the USO4. So I'm really excited to try this because I've always used the champagne yeast, or not the champagne yeast, but the shoot, can't remember nothing. The wine yeast, whatever it is, Montrachet wine yeast. So if you crashed it at 1.022, it didn't finish out nowhere near what mine did, because mine finished out. My last batch finished out at like 0.99, and it was like almost 10%. I think it started out at 1060. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one is, but I do appreciate it, and I hope that I can get you maybe a bottle of my double IPA, my Citra. It's getting some age on it, and if I can, if there's, there should be plenty in there, so if I get a bottle and it blows the keg, I'll be pissed, but hopefully I can get you a bottle at least of that, and this, I'm telling you, I mean, I can't think of anything. Oh, my bonfire ale that I'm drinking on, and maybe my Christmas ale. I'll have to try it. It's probably by now, but we'll see. But I'll definitely hook you up with something and get you a little something else out there. Brewing at the brewery, like I say, I've got stuff. I brewed a pale this past Sunday. Keeping still going with the black IPAs. I had a buddy come up here and do, as a guest brewer, 2 Beer Spear. My brewing buddy, one of my good friends, and so his beer is getting ready to come on tap here probably in a couple of weeks, a double IPA. Oh gosh, my amber, I don't remember what all I've brewed up there. It's just kind of gets like a job where you just go up there and do your job. I know it's awful to say, but everything's going well. I mean, we're keeping sold out of beer, or not sold out, but our beers are flowing really well, and they've started a beer club and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's moving right along, and watching these worms. So I'm going to put this down and get me another taste of beer, and then we'll talk airplanes for a minute. So yeah, the RC plane deal. With all the busy schedule of at the brewery and the wife being gone 2 or 3 nights a week, and sorry I keep I'm fascinated with these worms coming here to seek refuge. So I'm sorry I keep staring at them. The wife's been gone, and I'm got baby duty, you know, and so the RC stuff is really, I went back at it full throttle, no pun intended. You know, if you watch some of the other stuff talking about it, I used to be in several years back and got out of it because of the divorce. Emo, ladies, I know you don't watch my videos probably, but I feel for you, brother. I feel your pain with having to sell your stuff. I caught you a little video about your helicopter. Kind of done the same thing. I was in the same situation a few years back, so I've gotten back into it. So just hang in there, and it'll come back around to you. I had shown you the 3D plane that I fly, and I think the last time we talked, I talked about taking the landing gear off because every time I flew it, I broke it. I just don't have a good place to land back here, so I ended up just taking it off and putting tape over it, and I was worried about belly landing it and ripping the wings off, but since doing that, I've had so much fun with that plane. It belly lands just fine, so I'm flying that sucker a lot, and it takes those big 4-cell 2500 LiPo batteries. So it's got a lot of power, and it's got a lot of aerobatics, so it's really fun to fly. You can do all kinds of different maneuvers with it. And at the time, I had shown you, I can't remember what all I've shown you about this plane. This video is probably going to be long, and I apologize, but I don't put them out often. So this is my little mini pop wing, like 600 millimeter, whatever that is in inches, 20 some inches. And this sucker will fly. I actually have gotten a phone app. I don't know where my phone's at. Must be upstairs. I've got a phone app that measures speed by sound waves. It's very popular. RC Speedo, I think, is the name of it. And this plane's getting it's getting beat up pretty good because I have crashed the crap out of it. And actually, the other day, I don't know if you can see kind of right there where my thumb is. Actually, I think it might have been, yeah, it was on this side. I hit a power line trying to do some stupid stuff flying through my neighbor's power lines, and it split from my thumb back towards the tail end there. But the cool thing about this EPP foam is, man, you just kind of peel it back and fill it full of CA glue and push it back and hold it and put some kicker on it, and you're good to go. But I do have lights on this one, so I can fly it at night now. And I'll tell you what, just give me a second, let me turn those on, because I don't think I've shown that in the video. Plug the speed controller in. I've got a little JST connector going for all the different LEDs to the battery pack, and a balancing plug, that white plug right there, that you normally use to balance the LiPos. That's what I use to power all the LEDs. So it's probably pretty bright. I've got white and blue and then green and red on the bottom, and it really lights up good at night. So I've been flying this one at night. It's really fun. My neighbor's got one just like it. Actually, he pretty much destroyed his, and we bought him another one to replace it with. So I'm getting a nice little collection of batteries too. Batteries, man, I can't believe I may have mentioned this, how much cheaper LiPo batteries are these days than they were back in the day. So since I'm a speed freak, I know I mentioned the wing I used to have back before I got out of RC would go like 80 miles an hour, whatever, estimated back then. So my wife got me another kit made by Crash Test Hobbies that I got for Christmas and built over Christmas, and this is it. It's called the Assassin, and that one was built from scratch. It's made for combat. Those guys out in Utah that sells these, and they got their big clubs, and most people buy them for combat. And even though I'm trying to get my buddy to fly combat with me, I pretty much just bought it for speed and durability. The sucker's tough as nails, man, I'm telling you. The way the receiver and the speed control's recessed, and the battery pack goes down in here and it's recessed. The servos are recessed. Everything's the tough EPP foam. It's got the reinforced packaging tape that you might can see under there, and also it's got laminate covering on it that I put on with an iron, a hobby iron, not an iron like you iron clothes with. So that was my first ironing job, and it makes it really tough, man. This thing is The video of the guy demoing it, you know, flew it right into a brick wall at full throttle, and it just bounces back, and you got to pick it up and go again. And I've got a full range receiver, as you can see, a 72 megahertz receiver. I don't have the new 2.4 gigahertz stuff with the little short antennas. So these little motors is something else I've gotten into. These are the 2812 Emax motors. They're about $6 or $7 each, and I think they're 1500 running their KV ratings. And so basically what I'm doing now is taking them apart and forgive me, I'm never prepared. So basically I'm taking these motors apart and rewinding them. I'm taking the wires out from the armature here and replacing it with a 24 gauge high temperature wire. So you can see my winding skills. You can see that at all. So that motor right there, I redid. I just finished it today. I put the heat shrink on, put the connectors on, and all that stuff. And I just pretty much got to slide that back on there and put the clip back on it, and it'll be good to go. And that'll be going on this wing, which I got today. And I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, rewinding these motors, they make them faster. So basically you can get a cheaper motor and rewind it as many times. You know, if you burn the motor up, it's no big deal. Just take the wire off and redo it again. So it's pretty cool. Something to do, you know, when you got baby duty and you can't really go outside and fly, or the baby's asleep or taking a nap. I can sit down in the recliner up there and rewind the motor. Or if he takes a nap, I can take them, you know, or if the wife's here, I can go outside and fly for 10 or 15 minutes. That's what I love about this hobby. You know, you can fly for 15, 20 minutes and get your fix and come back in and you're good. These are the winglets for this plane, and they were on there, and I hit a tree and broke one off, or just it's glued on with hot glue. And so I just took the other one off. You can have them or not, so it just makes it a little more stable in flight, but I think I'm probably going to leave them off because it flew. By the way, that plane, we clocked it with the with a phone app at doing like anywhere from 75 to 82 with that rewound 2812 motor. So the next plane that I want to go ballistic. I want to push 100 miles an hour. So I could do it with that plane. I could just buy a motor, probably a bigger plane, a bigger speed control. That one's got a 40 amp speed control, so I think I could probably do it with another motor. But this one's getting some age on it and getting wore out, so I wanted something kind of along this size, the 20-some inch, less than 30 inch. So, I mean, this don't look like much, folks, but this is the one I got in the mail today, which is basically 2 wing halves. I'm not really set up here to show you, but basically when this is all said and done, and this is called a scythe, S-C-Y-T-H-E. And that's the carbon fiber and the push rods taped to the top there. But I just got this in today, so I've got to build it, and it'll kind of, I mean, it's the same type of wing as that one. It's just a smaller version. And I'm going to use actually the same motor that I was just showing you. So I've talked to guys and seen videos of guys getting this bad boy over 100, and they actually left the elevons out of my packing today, so I had to email them about that. So it comes with all the little goodies, the winglets and the some string for strengthening, and the little motor mount, and the control horns, all that stuff. So I know some of you may not know about, and that's the laminate that you put over your iron on it. 30 amp ESC, a couple of MG90 Metal Gear servos, and that's the motor that I bought another one. So let me show you that, if any of you is interested. I'm sure you loved hearing that. Yeah, that's the original motor like you buy it, and this is me after I rewound it. So I'll probably end up taking that one off and rewind it sometime when I get a chance. So yeah, I know that's a lot, and if you're not interested in RC, I'm sorry if I put all this stuff together. I probably should split them up, but On this one I'm going to run a either this 7x6 electric prop, or I'm going to cut it down like some of them do to like 4.5 or 5 inches to help me out on my current draw. But since I got a 30 amp ESC, I don't think I have to worry about it. So we'll see. I've got a watt meter somewhere, meter that plugs in between the battery and the speed control that lets me know how much current I'm pulling and how many watts I'm putting out and all that good stuff. So that's where we at on flying, other than my helicopters that these are the little electric V911s, especially for days like this when it's nice and rainy outside and you can't go outside and you just want to play around in the living room. These are cool little helicopters. They're 4-channel. This is the original that I got right there. It comes with not that part, but little USB charger, the helicopter, the 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, and 2 of those little batteries for like 35 bucks in the kit. And then you can buy these little clones for like 12 bucks maybe from China. So if something on that one breaks, actually that's when I bought that, to have a replacement parts. But they're pretty daggone durable, man. We was watching the football games this past weekend up there, flying around in the living room and just having a blast with it, because it's, like I say, it's 4-channel, so it's pretty realistic as far as flying a helicopter, and that's the first helicopter I've ever flown. It's fun. It's a fun hobby if you've never tried it. It's an addictive hobby. I say this, I want one more plane. I want an aerobatic plane, a 3D plane like that. But, you know, like in the 30-inch range, something I can, like a park flyer size, something I can stay in the backyard with. That's almost a little too much for my backyard. If I want to do any hovering or knife edge and stuff, I'm afraid to do it, you know, like 5 foot off the ground like I want to, so I have to take it up kind of high. But if I can get a small, like just a little foamy, I may go that route, or may just do like I used to do back in the day and go to Lowe's and buy me some of that blue or pink fan fold foam like you use for insulation on houses, and just make it out of that. That's what, you don't have anything in it other than your electronics, and I've got enough spare stuff sitting around. I could throw something on there and fly it pretty easy, and if you break it, you're out whatever the cheapo foam costs. So alright, I'm going to end this. There's no telling how many minutes this is running to, so hope I didn't bore you too bad. And I'm looking around trying to wonder if I've failed to tell you something that I wanted to tell you. Basically, I just wanted to thank Larry, BHBrewing, for sending the beer mail. I really do appreciate it, and get them in the fridge, and just want to give you an update and catch up kind of. Oh, hockey player. I was able to get into your cast the other night, obviously, but dude, you was playing that one album, and I wasn't familiar with it. I can't remember what it was. I think on side B, I kind of laid my head back in the recliner, and that was all she wrote. So I apologize for kind of crashing out on you, but it was nice to get in there and just hang out for a few minutes. And maybe the next time I don't brew on a Sunday morning and have to get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I can come hang out with you again. But I'm glad everything sounded great, looked great. It's been a while since I've been in there, and you've come a long way with it, and I'm tickled to see you doing that, because I know you love it and you enjoy it, and the music sounded great. I guess you wouldn't think of me going to sleep with that type of music that was played on that album, but and I wished I could think of what it was, but I guess I was just so tired, and I'm not used to staying up late anymore. And like I say, I just kind of kicked back, and I had the headphones on so I wouldn't wake the wife and baby. And next thing I know, I woke up and trying to get one eye open. I was like, okay, I'm done. So I just shut the laptop and went on to bed. So glad to see you doing it, brother, and hopefully I can get up with y'all again soon. So questions, comments, lay them on me. As always, later.